Sometimes the people you trust the most become strangers overnight. Sometimes friendship has conditions you never knew existed. This is the story of how a wedding invitation turned into a battleground, and how I learned that family is just a word people use when they want something from you. My name is Rachel, and I'm 32 years old. 6 months ago, I received a beautiful invitation to a destination wedding in Mexico. Today, I'm sitting in the exact hotel room the bride and groom tried to steal from me. Let me tell you how I got here. It started 2 years ago when I met Vanessa at a networking event. We were both in marketing, both ambitious, both looking for genuine connections in a city full of surface-level friendships. We clicked immediately, started meeting for coffee, then lunch, then happy hours after work. Within 6 months, we were close friends. Real friends. The kind who text each other random thoughts at midnight, who call each other for advice, who celebrate wins and cry over losses together. Vanessa introduced me to her boyfriend, Marcus. He was nice enough, worked in finance, had that polished corporate look, seemed to make Vanessa happy. I wasn't super close with Marcus, but we got along fine. The three of us would hang out occasionally, dinners, game nights, normal friend stuff. About a year into our friendship, Marcus proposed. Vanessa was over the moon, called me crying happy tears, sent me 50 photos of the ring. "I want you involved in everything," she said. "You're one of my closest friends." I was honored, genuinely honored. I'd never been that close to someone planning a wedding before. The engagement period was fun at first. Dress shopping, venue tours, cake tastings, all the classic wedding stuff. Vanessa seemed happy, stressed, but happy. Planning a wedding is exhausting, and she handled it pretty well. Then she announced they were doing a destination wedding. Riviera Maya, Mexico, a resort right on the beach. "It'll be intimate," she said. "Just close friends and family, about 50 people total." She handed me a save the date 6 months before the wedding. Beautiful card with their photo on the beach at sunset. I was excited. I'd never been to a destination wedding, never been to that part of Mexico. "Book early," Vanessa advised. "The hotel has a group rate, but rooms fill up fast." So I did everything right. Booked my flight immediately, reserved my hotel room through the group booking link, requested vacation days from work. The room wasn't cheap. $300 a night for 4 nights, $1,200 just for accommodation, plus flights, plus airport transfers, plus wedding gift, plus outfits for multiple events. I calculated everything carefully. The total cost was going to be around $5,000, maybe more. That's a lot of money, but Vanessa was worth it. She was my friend, and I wanted to celebrate her happiness. I paid for everything up front. The hotel required full payment at booking, non-refundable. The policy was clear, but I didn't care. I was committed. I was going to this wedding. The months passed. Vanessa got busier with planning. We saw each other less often, but we still texted regularly. Then came the bachelorette party planning. That's when things started getting complicated. Vanessa's maid of honor, her sister Emma, was organizing the bachelorette weekend, Nashville. 3 days of partying. The itinerary Emma sent out was insane. Expensive restaurants, VIP club tables, private party bus, matching outfits for every event. The estimated cost per person was $1,500, not including flights to Nashville. I looked at the email in shock. $1,500 for a bachelorette party, on top of the $5,000 for the wedding itself? I called Vanessa, tried to be diplomatic about it. "Hey, so the bachelorette plans look fun, but they're really expensive. Is there any way we could do something a bit more budget-friendly?" Vanessa's tone changed immediately. Got defensive. "Emma worked really hard on those plans. She's trying to make it special for me." "I know, and I want it to be special too. But I've already spent so much on the wedding. I don't know if I can swing another $1,500. Well, the other bridesmaids aren't complaining. That stung. The other bridesmaids were all in different financial situations. 2 were married with dual incomes. 1 lived with her parents rent-free. I was single, living alone in an expensive city, paying all my own bills. "I'm not complaining," I said carefully. "I'm just asking if there's flexibility. You either want to celebrate me or you don't, Rachel." Run. The conversation went downhill from there. She accused me of not being supportive, of making everything about money, of ruining the vibe. I tried to explain, tried to make her understand. but she wouldn't hear it. We hung up on bad terms. She was angry. I was hurt. The next day, I sent a long text apologizing, explaining my financial situation, offering to contribute what I could to the bachelorette party even if I couldn't do all the events. She responded with, "It's fine, don't worry about it." But it wasn't fine. I could tell from her tone, from the shortness of her messages. Things were different after that. We still texted occasionally, but the warmth was gone. The easiness was gone. I asked a mutual friend if Vanessa was upset with me. The friend confirmed that yes, Vanessa felt I'd been unsupportive during a stressful time. I felt terrible. That wasn't my intention at all. I just couldn't afford to spend $7,000 total on someone else's wedding events. But I didn't push it. Figured we'd work it out eventually, that once the wedding stress was over, our friendship would recover. I was wrong. 2 weeks before the wedding, I got a call from an unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. "Hello, is this Rachel Thompson?" "Yes, who's calling?" "This is Sandra from Elite Travel Management. I'm calling about your reservation for the Johnson Rivera wedding in Riviera Maya." My stomach dropped. Something about her tone put me on edge immediately. "What about it?" "We're making some adjustments to the room assignments, and we need to reassign your room to accommodate family members who've recently confirmed." I was confused. "Reassign my room? What does that mean?" "It means we're moving you to a different room. Same hotel, just a different category." "What category?" "Garden view instead of ocean view. But don't worry, it's still a lovely room." I felt my face getting hot. I specifically booked and paid for an ocean view room. That's what I wanted. "I understand, but the bride and groom have requested this change to accommodate their relatives." "Did Vanessa ask you to call me?" Sandra hesitated. "The request came through the wedding coordinator, yes." "And what if I don't agree to the change?" Another hesitation. "Well, we were hoping you'd be understanding. It's for family." There it was. The word that apparently meant more than friendship, more than money, more than commitment. "Family. I paid $1,200 for that room," I said slowly. "Fully paid, non-refundable. I booked it 6 months ago through the group link that Vanessa sent me." "Yes, we see that, but circumstances have changed, and we're trying to be flexible to meet the bride and groom's needs." "What about my needs? What about the fact that I've planned and paid for this trip?" Sandra's voice got colder. "We're just trying to help facilitate." "No. The answer is no. I'm not changing rooms." "Miss Thompson, I really think if you just..." "No. My reservation stays as is. If there's a problem, Vanessa can call me herself." I hung up. My hands were shaking. I couldn't believe it. They were trying to take my room. The room I'd paid for 6 months ago. The room I'd specifically chosen because it had an ocean view. And they were doing it without even talking to me first. Just calling through some travel agent hoping I'd roll over and accept it. I waited for Vanessa to call. To explain, to apologize. She didn't call. An hour later, Sandra called again. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail asking me to call her back to discuss options. I didn't call back. The next day, Sandra called twice more. Left 2 more voicemails, each one slightly more insistent than the last. I ignored them all. Then I started getting emails from Sandra's email address, saying things like, "We really need to finalize these arrangements. The bride and groom are counting on us to coordinate this smoothly. Please respond at your earliest convenience." I didn't respond. Because here's the thing. I knew what they were trying to do. They were trying to pressure me into giving up my room without directly confronting me. They thought if they called enough times, emailed enough times, made it inconvenient enough, I'd just cave. But I wasn't going to cave. This was my room, my money, my trip. A week before the wedding, the calls and emails stopped. Complete radio silence. I thought maybe they'd given up. Maybe they'd found another solution. But I had a bad feeling. Something didn't sit right. So I did what I should have done from the beginning. I called the hotel directly. I got through to the front desk. A woman named Isabella answered. "Hi, I have a reservation for next week and I wanted to confirm it's still active." "Of course. Let me pull that up for you. What's the name?" "Rachel Thompson, confirmation number." I read off the number from my original booking confirmation. I heard typing. Then a pause. More typing. "Okay, I see your reservation here, Miss Thompson. Is everything still as I booked it? Ocean view room?" More typing. A longer pause. Miss Thompson, I'm seeing some notes on your account that are concerning. My heart started racing. What kind of notes? It looks like there were several attempts to modify your reservation, to change your room category, and she paused. To cancel it entirely. What? Yes, multiple modification requests came through our group booking coordinator, all within the past week. I felt sick. Can they do that? Can they cancel my reservation without my permission? Absolutely not. You paid for this room directly. It's your reservation. No one can modify or cancel it without your express authorization. But they tried? They tried. And I'm very glad you called, because I'm going to put a hard lock on this reservation right now. I could have cried with relief. Thank you. Thank you so much. This happens sometimes with wedding groups, Isabella said. Her voice was kind but firm. Family politics get messy, but your reservation is protected. I'm adding notes that only you can make changes. Nobody else. Not even the bride and groom. You can do that? I absolutely can, and I am doing it right now. Consider it done. She took a few more minutes to verify all my information, confirmed my check-in date, confirmed the room type, confirmed that I was fully paid. You're all set, Miss Thompson. Your beautiful ocean view room will be waiting for you, and nobody is taking it from you. I thanked her profusely, hung up feeling vindicated, feeling protected, but also feeling sad, because this confirmed what I'd suspected. Vanessa and Marcus had actually tried to cancel my reservation, not just move me to a different room, cancel it entirely. They'd tried to kick me out of the hotel, tried to make it impossible for me to attend their wedding, all without ever talking to me directly, all through back channels and travel agents. I sent Vanessa a text, simple and direct. I know what you tried to do with my hotel room. We need to talk. She read it immediately. The 3 dots appeared showing she was typing, then disappeared, then appeared again. Finally, she responded, I don't know what you're talking about. I laughed, actually laughed out loud at the audacity. The hotel confirmed that someone tried to cancel my reservation. Multiple times. Who else would do that? The 3 dots appeared and disappeared several times. Then finally, Marcus's aunt needs a room? We thought you weren't coming anyway after our fight. There it was, the truth. They'd assumed I wouldn't come, and instead of checking with me, instead of having an adult conversation, they'd tried to give away my room. I never said I wasn't coming, and even if I had, you don't get to cancel my reservation. I paid for that room. His aunt is family, Rachel. We need to prioritize family. That word again. Family. Like it was a magic word that erased all normal rules of decency and respect. Then Marcus's aunt can book her own room. Or you can give her your room, but you're not getting mine. You're being selfish. I stared at my phone in disbelief. I was being selfish? I was being selfish for not giving up a room I'd paid $1,200 for? I'm being selfish for keeping the room I paid for 6 months ago? The room you invited me to book? The room I planned an entire expensive trip around? Forget it. Just don't come. Nobody wants you there anyway. And there it was. The truth beneath all the politeness, beneath all the friendship. I wasn't family, so I didn't matter. I didn't respond. There was nothing left to say. I blocked her number. Blocked Marcus's number too, in case he decided to try. And I made a decision. I was going to that wedding. I was going to sit in my beautiful ocean view room. I was going to enjoy my expensive vacation that I'd paid for, and they could deal with it. The next few days were weird. I felt angry, hurt, betrayed, but also strangely free. I didn't have to care anymore. Didn't have to worry about being the perfect supportive friend. Didn't have to walk on eggshells. I'd been uninvited, told nobody wanted me there, so I was officially off the hook for all the emotional labor. I still had my invitation, still had my confirmation, still had every right to be there. So I was going. My best friend Sarah thought I was crazy. Why would you go to a wedding where you're not wanted? Because I paid $5,000 and I'm not letting them win. But it'll be so awkward. For them, maybe. I'll be sipping margaritas on my ocean view balcony. Sarah laughed. Okay, I kind of love this energy. Besides, I added, they uninvited me verbally, not officially. I never got a formal please don't come message. So technically, I'm still invited. You're petty and I respect it. The day of travel arrived. I packed my bags, did my makeup, put on a cute travel outfit. I felt powerful, in control, ready. The flight was smooth. The airport transfer was easy, and when I pulled up to the resort, I felt my breath catch. It was stunning. White sand beaches, turquoise water, palm trees swaying in the breeze. I checked in at the front desk. A different woman was working, but she saw my name and her face brightened. "Miss Thompson, we've been expecting you. Isabella left very detailed notes about your reservation. Is everything okay? Everything is perfect. Your room is ready. And as a thank you for your patience with the booking confusion, we've upgraded you to a junior suite." I blinked. "You upgraded me?" "Yes, ma'am. Ocean View Junior Suite. Complimentary. Isabella wanted to make sure you were taken care of." I could have cried. After everything, after all the stress and fighting, a stranger had shown me more kindness than my supposed friend. "Thank you," I managed. "Thank you so much." The woman smiled. "Enjoy your stay, and if anyone gives you any trouble, you come straight to me." She knew. Somehow she knew this wasn't just a simple booking mix-up. She knew this was personal. I got to my room and it was even better than I'd imagined. Huge balcony, gorgeous view, king bed, separate seating area. I walked onto the balcony and looked at the ocean, felt the warm breeze, heard the waves, and I thought, this was worth it. All of it, just for this moment. I unpacked slowly, hung up my dresses, arranged my toiletries, made myself at home. This was my room, my space. They tried to take it from me, but here I was. That evening, I went down to the resort restaurant for dinner, sat at the bar, ordered a fancy cocktail and fresh ceviche. As I was eating, I saw them, Vanessa and Marcus, walking through the lobby with a group of people. Vanessa saw me, her face went white. She said something to Marcus. He looked over, looked shocked. I waved, smiled, took a sip of my cocktail. The look on their faces was worth every penny of this trip. They started walking toward me. I braced myself for confrontation. But before they reached me, another couple intercepted them, started talking animatedly. Wedding guests, probably. Vanessa kept glancing at me over her shoulder, but she couldn't break away from the conversation. I finished my dinner, paid my bill, walked right past them with a smile. "Beautiful resort," I said pleasantly. "I'm so glad I came." Vanessa's face was a mixture of anger and shock, but she couldn't make a scene in front of her other guests. I went back to my room, changed into pajamas, sat on my balcony with a glass of wine. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "We need to talk. This is Emma, Vanessa's sister." I didn't respond. Another text. "You need to leave. You're not welcome here." I took a screenshot, blocked the number. Another text from a different number. "This is Marcus's brother. I don't know what your problem is, but you need to go home." Screenshot. Block. They were trying to intimidate me, trying to make me uncomfortable enough to leave. But I wasn't leaving. This was my vacation, my room, my money. The next morning, I went down to breakfast. The resort had a beautiful buffet, fresh fruit, pastries, made-to-order omelets. I took my time, enjoyed every bite, sat at a table with a perfect view of the beach. Vanessa and Marcus came down with a group. They saw me. Vanessa whispered something to Marcus. He shook his head. They sat at a table on the opposite side of the restaurant. As far from me as possible. Fine with me. Throughout the day, I saw them periodically. By the pool, on the beach, in the lobby. Every time, they'd see me and quickly look away. Or whisper to whoever they were with. I knew they were talking about me, probably telling people I'd crashed the wedding, that I wasn't supposed to be there. But I didn't care. I had my invitation. I had my confirmation. I had every right to be there. The wedding was the next day. I'd been debating whether to actually go to the ceremony. Part of me wanted to skip it, to just enjoy the resort and avoid the drama. But another part of me wanted to go, to sit there, to be visible, to remind them that they couldn't erase me. I decided to go. I put on my most beautiful dress, did my hair and makeup perfectly, put on my best jewelry. I looked amazing. I felt amazing. The ceremony was on the beach at sunset, chairs arranged in rows, white fabric and flowers everywhere. I arrived right as it was starting, took a seat in the back, on the aisle. Vanessa walked down with her father. She looked beautiful, I'll admit that. But when she got close to my row, she saw me. Her step faltered. Her smile wavered. She recovered quickly. But I saw the panic in her eyes. The ceremony was lovely. Traditional vows, happy tears, the perfect sunset backdrop. When it ended and everyone was congratulating the couple, I slipped away. Didn't try to approach them. Didn't make a scene. I'd made my point. I was there. They couldn't erase me. The reception was in the resort ballroom. I debated going, decided I would for cocktail hour, then leave before dinner. I walked in during cocktail hour, got a glass of champagne, stood near the back. Several guests were staring at me, whispering. I knew Vanessa and Marcus had told people about me, but I stood tall, smiled, sipped my champagne. A woman approached me, older, maybe Vanessa's aunt. Are you Rachel? I am. I'm Barbara, Vanessa's aunt. I heard there was some confusion with the hotel rooms. No confusion on my end. I had a reservation. Still do. Barbara's eyes narrowed. Vanessa said you weren't coming, that you'd had a falling out. Vanessa assumed I wasn't coming. She never actually asked me. Well, this is a family event. Maybe it would be better if... I was invited, I said firmly. I have my invitation. I paid for my trip, and I'm staying. Barbara looked like she wanted to say more. But just then, Marcus's mother called her over. I finished my champagne, decided I'd had enough. Time to go back to my room. As I was leaving, I passed Vanessa in the hallway. She was alone for a moment. We made eye contact. She looked like she might cry. Why are you here? She asked, her voice breaking. Because you invited me. Remember? Best friends? Closest friends? You wanted me involved in everything. That was before. Before what? Before I couldn't afford your excessive bachelorette party? Before I became expendable? You don't understand the pressure I was under. I understand perfectly. When it came down to it, I wasn't family, so I didn't matter. Vanessa's tears spilled over. You're ruining my wedding. I'm sitting in a hotel room I paid for. How is that ruining anything? Everyone is talking about you, about the drama, about, then maybe you shouldn't have tried to kick me out. Maybe you should have been honest with me instead of going behind my back. Marcus appeared then, put his arm around Vanessa. You need to leave, he said to me. Now. Or what? You'll call security? I'm a paying guest with a confirmed reservation. I have every right to be here. This is our wedding, and this is my vacation, which I paid for, which you tried to steal from me. We stared at each other. The tension was thick. Finally, Vanessa spoke. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry for how we handled it. But please, please just go. I'll pay you back for the room, for everything. Just please leave. It was the first genuine thing she'd said to me in weeks, and part of me felt bad for her. This was her wedding day, and here I was, making it complicated. But another part of me remembered the phone calls, the emails, the attempts to cancel my reservation behind my back, the text saying nobody wanted me there. No, I said quietly. I'm not leaving. You don't get to treat people like this and then ask them to make you comfortable. I walked away, left them standing in the hallway, went back to my beautiful ocean view room, changed into comfortable clothes, ordered room service, and sat on my balcony watching the stars. I'd won. They'd tried to erase me, and I'd refused to be erased. The next morning was my last day at the resort. I spent it by the pool, reading, swimming, relaxing. Vanessa and Marcus and their wedding guests were doing some group activity on the beach. I could see them from my pool chair. They were laughing, taking photos, celebrating, and I was okay with that. I didn't need to be part of it anymore. I'd learned something important about friendship, about respect, about standing up for yourself. Sometimes people will try to make you small, try to make you disappear, try to convince you that you don't matter. But you get to decide if you accept that. I could have left quietly, could have let them cancel my room, could have backed down to avoid confrontation, but I didn't. I stood my ground. I kept my room. I stayed. Not because I wanted to ruin their wedding, but because I refused to let them erase me. That afternoon, I checked out. The woman at the front desk smiled at me. How was your stay, Miss Thompson? Perfect, I said honestly. Absolutely perfect. I'm so glad, and I hope things worked out with the situation. They did. Thanks to you and Isabella. She smiled wider. That's what we're here for. As I waited for my airport transfer, I saw Vanessa one last time. She was in the lobby with Marcus and some relatives. She saw me, looked away quickly, said something to Marcus. I didn't try to say goodbye. I didn't try to make peace. Some friendships aren't meant to be saved, at least not right away, and not at the cost of my self-respect. The transfer arrived. I loaded my bags, took one last look at the beautiful resort, and left. On the plane home, I replayed everything. The friendship that had buckled under pressure, the money I'd spent, the principle I'd defended. Was it worth it, $5,000 in a broken friendship just to keep a hotel room? Yes, because it was never just about the room. It was about respect, about not letting people treat me like I was optional. I'd been invited to that wedding, paid in full, planned for months, and when it became inconvenient, they tried to make me disappear. No conversation, no honesty, no respect. That's what I couldn't accept. Not the room change itself, but the way they tried to do it. So I stayed, and I won my trip, my dignity, my place. If you've ever been made to feel disposable, you're not. Your time matters, your money matters, your presence matters. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise or cancel you without your permission. Stand your ground, keep your room, take up space. You deserve to be there, even when people try to tell you that you don't. And once you've kept your room, decide what else you want to keep. When the wheels hit the runway back home, I'd already decided what to keep. My boundaries, my calm, and my receipts. The first message was waiting as soon as I turned my phone off airplane mode. A long, shaky paragraph from Emma, Vanessa's sister, sent at 1:18 a.m. the night before. It began with, "I was just protecting my sister," and ended with, "You made everything about you." I didn't reply. I archived it, not out of pettiness, but because there was nothing left in it for me. I'd already spent my energy. I wasn't spending more. At baggage claim, Sarah called. Well, I said. I saw the ocean every morning and kept my room. 10 out of 10. And the bride? She saw me. I saw her. We both learned something. Which is? That I'm not a placeholder. Home. I set my suitcase down, opened the balcony, and made tea. The city air wasn't the ocean, but it felt clean, like opening windows in a stale room. While it was still warm in my chest, I wrote, "People who love you ask before they take." Family is not a reason, it's a responsibility. Boundaries don't ruin events, secrets do. When someone tries to move you quietly, stay loudly. I slept well for the first time in days. Morning brought ripples. A mutual friend texted, "Heard a version? Yours?" I sent a calm voice note. I booked, I paid. They tried to cancel without consent. The hotel protected my reservation. I went. I stayed. She replied, "Proud of you." By noon, a travel agency email arrived. Final reconciliation, group block with a neat ledger. At the bottom, reassignment Johnson Aunt canceled. No apology, just the paperwork truth leaves. I saved the PDF to remember exactly what happened. I took a walk. The city looked the same, but I didn't. Your shoulders change when you stop apologizing for your square foot of space. I bought flowers and set them on my table, not a victory lap, a marker. Here's where I chose myself without hating anyone else. That evening, Vanessa texted, "Can we talk?" "Not tonight," I said. "Send what you want me to hear in writing." An hour later came the long message. Pressure from both families. The aunt's room falling through, panic, bad decisions that hurt me. "I'm sorry," she wrote, and it felt like the kind that costs something to say. I let it sit overnight. In the morning, "Thank you. I accept. I'm still hurt. We can revisit later if you speak to me directly next time, and you never authorize anyone to touch my bookings again." She replied, "That's fair." The gossip cooled. I returned to work, the gym, plans that didn't require silent tests of loyalty. The calm felt accurate. On Friday, a small envelope arrived with a Riviera Maya postmark. Inside, a note, "Miss Thompson, thank you for trusting us with your stay. I'm sorry for the reservation stress. If you return, email me directly. I'll make sure you get the view you paid for, no modifications. I promise. Isabella." I smiled and put it beside the flowers. Proof that strangers can show more care than people who swear they're family. A week later, a mutual friend whispered, "The aunt got a fine room. Not ocean view, but fine." The crisis? Manufactured. "Most are," I said. Honesty could solve so much in 10 minutes. Will you and Vanessa fix it? I don't know. If we do, it won't be because I made myself small enough to fit her convenience. I wasn't angry anymore, just steady. I mailed the couple a single sentence. I hope you treat each other better than you treated me. No return address, no reply needed. I took a solo weekend at a quiet beach, booked the cheapest room with the best window, and watched the light move across the water. I didn't need a wedding to justify a view. I needed my own permission. I wrote myself a vow. I won't argue about my right to be present. I won't accept family as an excuse for cruelty. I'll ask for clarity once, then act. I'll spend money like respect intentionally, and never twice for the same lesson. Back home, I framed Isabella's note by the door. If someone says there's no room for you, check the name on the door. If it's yours, walk in. Open the curtains, take the view, breathe. Keep your room, keep your boundaries, keep your peace. You're not a spare chair to be folded and stored. You're a guest who arrived on purpose.